Right, we are inside the game room. Welcome to game one between TyRanT and Crow. First match of the group stage for both of these teams in the Clan Masters, which is a $30,000 team game tournament being sponsored by the Chinese community. It's going to feature a live LAN final in China between the top two teams. The players and teams will be flown over to China to participate in that. And TyRanT, of course, are hotly favoured to be one of the two participating teams. This is just their first step on that path, though, and they're facing off against the lowest seeds in the tournament, so it's top seed versus bottom seed here, and therefore they will be expecting a comfortable victory, but let's see what kind of resistance Crow can provide. They've got three. I'll start with them, since they're the least familiar to us. They've got three players who I don't know the names of, but I guess they're probably around 15 plus players, judging by their seeding. Rating wise, that is 15 plus rating. We've got Dancer in the purple. He's playing as Celt flank. Bear in mind this is team random, so random mirror civs are not picked ones. So Dancer is in purple, Celt flank, and the pocket is Vikings. Or iffy pocket to have, really. I think in this situation the Chinese pocket would probably be the nicest. So Kill is playing green pocket Vikings, and Joel is playing on the flank as Chinese in the teal. All three players from Brazil, although Crow do have a couple of Peruvian players in their roster as well. Let's have a look at TyRanT. Slam playing on the flank in Chinese. That's nice for him because he normally plays Chinese for TyRanT B or TyRanT Warlords in a 4v4. Often in a 4v4 Arabia, if it's pick civ, then you basically have Huns, Mayans, Mongols, and then you choose between maybe Chinese, maybe Spanish, or maybe even Persians or a meso civ in that fourth slot. And Chinese and Spanish basically comes down to whether you want to favour the trade bonus or playing a little bit more aggressive earlier, and Slam always seems to like that Chinese. So good civ for him. Doubt in the pocket as Celts. Now Doubt is such a macro oriented player, he'll probably be booming his heart out here. I expect we'll probably see like one stable and then just booming with one stable night production from him. He's in the yellow in the pocket position, and then rounding out the player lineup we've got Fire on the right hand flank as Vikings in the blue. So tough spot, really. I think better civ positions for TyRanT here. The Viking flank is pretty nice, obviously. That's the position that suits them best, unless they're going to sling. Crow may choose to use a sling strategy to try and even up the mismatch a little bit. But so if they want to do that, then they've got this Viking in the pocket, which is nice for them. I'm not a fan of this lumber camp, but I guess he saw the he just built his starting house and he just happened to house his forest. But I'd have liked to have seen him build the lumber camp, maybe there or something. I don't know, or here, or even around there, just to stop clogging that up. Because Vils like to do this; they keep going round either side. But yeah, other than that, Chinese on the flank for Slam, and Chinese on the flank over here as well. So we've got Chinese mirror, and then Celts versus Vikings. Celts, a decent flank still, of course, but the issue you have as Celts that makes them not the easiest to play in a longer game for lower skill players is you've got to really transition yourself in the Imperial Age, because you start off like maybe Castle Age. If you're in the pocket, you might do some knights. If you're on the flank, you might do some crossbows. But then when you hit the Imperial Age, you've got to transition into woads and siege and stuff like that. So it's not the easiest to play. And when you're matched up against a position which is approaching 1,000 points higher rated than you, then you don't want that kind of difficulty if you manage to survive the Imperial Age, to have to manage that transition against a Viking flank who is able to be just so fast and swift and decisive in the early Imperial Age. Why is Doubt already behind him, Vils, says John Tilly in the chat. I don't know. Maybe he's just not woken up yet. because we saw him take such a long time to get ready for the game. I don't know. He's only at 1 vil behind, but it's not something you would expect him to see at this point. I guess it's maybe kind of 1.5, judging by the fact that his allies are on 22. I mean, yeah, he has loomed, but he is more than 1 vil behind there. So you are right. Fire Drushing on the flank. Let's have a look what the Celt player is intending to do. Drush has come out for him as well. Just 2 militia. Quickly switch to his point of view and see if... Yeah, he doesn't seem to be making a third. That's interesting. Does he have it? He's got 3 military. I'd assume his scout's still alive. Yeah, it is. It's down here. So is Crow going to actually add that third one? Yeah, he is. Okay. So 3 militia Drush for both players on the right hand flank. Left flank... Slam doing. I'm guessing Slam's going to do a man-at-arms forward rush play. He quite likes to do that. I've seen him do it a lot in 1v1s as well. How's the map looking for Joel if Slam comes forward? Yeah, Slam's saying care for sling. But Joel isn't slinging. Maybe if anyone slings here, it'll be the Viking pocket. Crow Scout. Sorry, Dancer Scout. I keep calling them Crow, don't I? Instead of their individual player names. Need to get used to learn the names quickly. Bit bumpy there for Fire's Woodline, but he's at least cleaned up that scout, which will give him the advantage in the Drush. So pretty... No, it's not that fast up time actually for the Viking pocket. 26 vils. If we'd gone up a lot, like a few villages lower than that, then it would possibly have suggested slinging. I think we saw Teal say he was doing scouts right from the start, and that's what we see here. He's managed to fairly economically wall in most of his map here. Doesn't give him much room to work with, and his main gold kind of forms part of his wall, which can sometimes be dicey, especially when there's a great big hill behind it that archers could be stationed upon later. Let's have a look what Slam's doing. No, he's not going to do man-at-arms rush, he's just going to go straight into 2 range archers. I think he went up on 22 vils, did he? Something like that, so 22 vil archer flush, something along those lines. So, let's have a look at that. Not putting up a... it's not actually really hit the feudal edge just yet. What am I talking about? I was going to see if is he building a stable yet, but of course, only about 80% there. Drushes are going to come together on the right hand side in the base of Dancer. Fire obviously still has his scout alive here, which will make a big difference, and Dancer will have to get vils into the fray. Fire's not going to get baited into fighting all those vils. Going to keep walking on by, maybe just try and annoy and harass. That scout on pretty low HP seems. Maybe he blundered into the TC, so Kill's going to chase him down and try and finish that scout off. Drush's war is happening over here. Seems Fire got more hits on. Scout is getting involved as well, obviously, so he's probably going to... Okay, actually, Dancer does well there to make sure there aren't 2 militia remaining, because 2 militia plus the scout could still be very, very annoying, especially when a scout is benefiting from its feudal age attack bonus. Doubt says, can someone check if Pocket is saying he's chasing my scout away? Yes, we'll check back on that. 1 vil goes down in the woodline for Dancer, so Fire making the most of that. Only 1 militia and the scout left, but he gets a vil pick with it. Pretty nice. Dancer will go stable, so he's going to try and go up and do knights on the flank as Celts. He'll be playing against a double crossbow play against Fire's Drush FC crossbows. Back to that. Did I miss anything? No, P5 really, no. Going to see 1 stable from the pocket for Crow Kill as Vikings. So 1 stable mini boom, and then we'll have to see whether he chooses to add more stables and flood. Interesting gold location that Kill is taking here. Obviously that's safe from melee units for the moment, but it's difficult to add vils to the gold mine. It's kind of outside his walls, and if any ranged units come here, it's going to be so difficult to defend. Slam's just flaring those scouts now. He's got some archers back at home, and other ones are going to the enemy base, but the tower's already up there, so it's a nice play. Joel's seeing that vulnerability in his map, and Slam won't be able to get all those archers at the base of the tower, but it's enough to force the villagers away from the gold mine. So even if they're not killing all those villagers, still doing the job keeping Joel from gathering his gold, and the other one's right at the back as well. Oh, Celt Scouts. He's not going to try and FC. Wow, this is an interesting play. Like Drush, FC, a few scouts, and then 2 archer rangers. And Dancer will get it in past through this wall that Fire's trying to put up. Should be able to pick off a Vil. It's good for him, although the archers will come out for Fire, and the crossbow blade hasn't actually been clicked just yet, but it will be on its way fairly soon. And those archers do have fletching. TC being dropped in a nice spot for Fire on the wood and the gold. A little bit of stuttering in this game every now and again. I'm going to slow it down just to get away from that host time. Actually, 2 stable knights play from the pocket for kill. Never a terrible idea in 3v3 to go 2 stable knights, because you're going to have to support your players on both sides, so you need a lot of army to do that sometimes. And playing against TyRanT, you'd obviously expect your allies on the flanks to be coming under the cosh, so looking to defend against them. And now there's not a terrible amount of action going on besides up here where Joel's scouts will pick up Slam's archers. But Joel's had a lot of idle on gold mine for quite some time. Let's see how his resources are looking. I'm not going to be clicking up to Castle Age anytime soon. Floating a bit of wood. He's actually had to get a second tower up just to push out Slam's archers away from the base of this one. So he's been mining stone as well. That's not the best for him. We've got to pause now. It feels like there's some lag going on here, to be honest. It feels like a laggy game. Dancer's going to defend at home with the tower as well. It's actually going to build houses all the way around the base of the tower as well to try and wall it in a bit. So he's kind of preempting the kind of play that his ally on the opposing flank suffered, where Slam just parked his archers at the base of the tower. Kind of guard against that. Dancer can click up as well, but he's not going to be able to produce much army unless he reassigns a lot more villagers to gold. 4 villagers on gold and 2 of them not even mining right now. You're not going to be able to build archers from 2 ranges and get crossbow and then ultimately bodkin with that, and he's already had to add in a couple of skirms. Slam's already sealed off the whole front of his map. That's a nice shield. 2 archery ranges. Lots of archers in the back. Seems that maybe 1 or 2 of Joel's scouts died here. Slam actually with an interesting kill to death ratio right now. 4 to 10. Obviously he had a lot of archers cleaned up on this tower. Have a look around here. Doubt's first knight starting to prod at Dancer's base. That's a flare from Kill pointing out Doubt's new TC.
Yes.
Dancer's remaining scouts goes down on the back of Fire's base. That's going to come over to hit the pocket with 2 knights, but he'll find 2 TCs put right by each other. This is a nice safe looking base for now. The Kill. Obviously the vulnerability is the gold. Has he even found his main gold? That is the question for me.
Yes. Yes.
As we see a villager or two go down for him, I just want to switch to his point of view. Which one is he? Crow kill. Oh wow. He didn't find his main gold. I mean, in fairness, you wouldn't expect it to be there, but that's crucial. No wonder he's taking this gold. You'd question why he's not asking for admin re if he thinks he's or restart if he thinks his map is bugged and he doesn't have any gold. I will close off the whole of the map. You can already see that the tournament experience with the TyRanTs there, to the extent to which they're closing off the whole front of their map as flanks. It's just really just a straight line across the map, and that would develop into a team wall later on. Five knights out for kill there. Don't know where he's going with those. I think he's safe at home for now. But he should probably try and achieve something with them. Joel's still got some scouts in play, the teal player. Might be able to pick up a couple of Doubt's vills here. If he sees them and turns back, there we go. Yeah, but Doubt's on point. He's going to pull those back into the TC. His knights are here to defend. And he'll be just fine. So let's have a look what's going on here. Not a lot. Fire's getting his presumably third TC up. Yeah. The Slam is just at home. He's just massing and massing and massing. In the castle age now, getting crossbow, bodkin, bowsaw. All those three important upgrades to do when you're doing crossbows. Start castle age. That will chase Joel away from his base. And it's fairly passive for now. Crow getting into the game. I mean, they're only 100 points or so behind in the scores as well. What's noticeable though is Doubt's macro prowess, his booming prowess, already on 64 villagers, whereas the closest Crow player is the opposing pocket on 52. Trying to find the fights then when I heard the attack horns going off. That's one of Knight of Doubt going down, but nothing too important there. Dance is going to come forward. He's now in the cast stage, he's getting crossbow, but he's got a lot of skirms mixed in here, whereas fire is pure crossbow, and with the extra range from bodkin, he'll be able to out-micro that army. As we see, Slam hitting the left flank player, coming forward, getting three kills, or maybe it's just two quick kills on of the farmers, timing that nicely there, just as crossbow and bodkin was kicking in for him. He moves in on his opponent at perfect timing, keeping those units safe until they advance the castle age units rather than feudal archers. But Kill's going to try and attack Doubt a bit now. Doubt's even doing one or two spears at home. These knights won't live long if they stand between the TCs though. Only just the +1 armour as well. So they're still quite vulnerable to the TC fire as we see Doubt putting up his 4th TC. This is such a compact, dense base. It's so difficult to raid the way he's laid it all out. The Dance is not able to break into Fire's base as Fire continues to try and team wall across the map, although it looks like Dancer did kill the villager that was roaming along, just team walling all the way. Possibility of Doubt could lose a villager or two there as those crossbows move in. Fire, where are you going? There you go. He's going to come and take the hill and should win it. Meanwhile, Slam moving in against green but won't do too much there, so let's see this fight going down.
Yes.
Doubt's coming back with the knights. House is deleted and those crossbows and skirmishes are about to be just enveloped and swallowed up. Perfect trap by TyRanT here. Cleaning up all those units so easily. They barely lost a unit of their own. Besides Doubt, there's vills and maybe one knight. Looks like Fire didn't even lose a crossbow, microing up on the hill. Amazing job by him. And now Slam breaking into the the green players' economy in the pocket, busting through a palisade which is so flimsy at this stage of the game. He's only going to walk into TCs though, so besides removing villagers from this wood line and the farmland, he won't achieve too much. Knights on the flank for Joel here. Slam's base is looking pretty compact and defensible as well. TCs everywhere as well. Slam really has a lot of crossbows back at home as well to help deal with this. Quick Wall comes out to try and deny that on the gold. Look at that. There's just a one tile hole here that's necessary, and there actually, but Slam sees it all. Such precise quick walling there. Slam picks up a couple more vills on these farmlands as well. Seems Kill was trying to reoccupy that before it was really safe to do so. And fires on his way to Imp, and they're actually halfway there, and we see the power of the Viking handcart there, just accelerating you through the castle edge, and he'll probably be able to do a fast Imp push with Arbs and Rams there. And when I say fast Imp, I obviously don't mean like Turk fast Imp, but you know what I mean, getting to Imperial age quickly and then making use of that early age uptime. So crossbows go forward. They'll probably hit Purple's base shortly before after the Arbalest kicks in, and crossbows really being massed now. We see right by the main gold of green, he's managed to trap those crossbows of Slanders that were roaming around, and with +2 armour you'll be able to kill those off pretty easily now he's sprung that trap. Teal was also here too to help clean up if needed, but he's not there. Fire's moving in, Bracer Arbalest, 2-man sword, villagers going down left and right here. There's just so many that are vulnerable to dying so quickly. And if Fire's even going to just run and stand under the TC, he doesn't care because he's killing so many villagers. If a TC kills 3 of his crossbows here, it's fine. Just carry on slaughtering. And as soon as Bracer and Arbalest kicks in, he'll be able to abuse that wood line for even from behind here so easily, just hitting the entire thing. Dancer's coming forward though. Mangonel assisting the crossbows that he sent forward, and he's going to try and hit the gold. Doesn't manage to pick up a villager kill though, and Arbalest from distance easily getting that Mangonel actually. Although Fire will lose those units to much greater numbers. However, bringing more up from the north to join the fight, and now that fight will easily go in Fire's favour instead. Joel's still trying to apply pressure with his knights on the right. Sorry, on the right hand side of Slam's base on the left flank. Doesn't have enough knights on the front though to deal with the amount of crossbows that Slam has. And Slam will come forward and put a castle on a nice position on the hill here. He may have even thought to go for here as well, but I guess if he does a second one, we'll see it there. TyRanT are definitely playing a very kind of safe game here, where they just use the macro to secure an advantage in the late game rather than going full aggression in the castle age and trying to end the game quickly. Fire's also made his way over to kill in the pocket, but besides a handful of villager picks on outlying farmland and maybe just on the wood and gold here, shouldn't be able to achieve too much there. See Doubt's making that transition. He really didn't make many knights in Castle Age, so not a lot of resources spent on that, and he'll be able to really spam words now. 3rd castle going up, so production's going to be really good for him. 3 scorpions for Dancer, that's an interesting choice. We often see players mixing in 1 scorpion to fight against small groups of enemy crossbows that are so easily dance and avoid mangonel shots, but at this stage of the game with Arbalest on the field and you're stuck in Castle Age, don't see how those scorpions are going to prove their worth. They just go down so easily, look at that. Even so, Fire's not going to stand there and fight that. Just head on. Good pick here for Joel, but the problem is that these are elite Woad Raiders with 13 plus 1 attack, 80 HP. They're going to slaughter the knights pretty easily, especially under the castle fire. So it's not really worth it to lose all those knights just for a few vills here, I don't think.
Yes.
Especially when you're behind in the game, that army is difficult to replace. And Doubt's really starting to cause havoc with those elite Woad Raiders in the middle of the map now. denying a castle. You're probably going to be able to destroy a TC just with those quite easily, actually. +4 armor, no fletcher on the TC. The TC will die be destroyed very, very quickly there. Look at that, as every attack by the Void Raiders is synchronized, is doing like 200 plus damage. With the TC, it's like paper. And Fire doing coinage. I mean, he's not full slinging, but he's just going to send some to his allies at least. I'm glad the TyRanT aren't full slinging in this game. And TyRanT already thinking about trade now, asking Slam for a market. Slam's close to Imp as well. If we look at the top right, he's about 90% done, or close to. He'll be ready to start pushing hard here as well. The pocket is obviously in the Imperial Age green player, and he's going Cavaliers, which isn't terribly ideal. Viking Cavaliers with no bloodlines, no final armor upgrade against elite Void Raiders. It's just resource per resource. It's not going to work. And Doubt's just absolutely outnumbering him as well at this point. So many more units. 60 military actually, and that's a common thing as we look at all of the TyRanT players. They've all got 50 military or more. So little for the Crow team, and they're calling GG now. So it's going to be game 1. All TyRanT, of course, and it seems Teal's doing the I want my imp. I just want to show my enemy that I had clicked imp. He won't. He will resign when the Imperial Age clicks in. He just wants to prove it. No! Instead he wanted to fire a parting shot. Maybe 2 verse, but 3. I don't know what that means. Maybe he's saying that we could win 2v3. Or 3v2. But anyway. So, 1-0 TyRanT. And we'll be heading into the second game shortly. Already launching. But Dancer says wait. Hope there's not going to be too much of a hold up. Yeah, but he wasn't getting attacked by 3 LB. Like, that's what I first thought, but he wasn't being attacked by 3 players.